a lot of comic book characters are Natalie Nunn a little bit. Like even Emma Frost. Remember when the new X-Men got decimated and she made all the students fight in the danger zone?
Like right then and there, she said, "Fight."
Like literally, like everyone's kind of Natalie Nunn.
What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Another Relaunch. I am Benet du Paris, aka Exodus.
Ooh, I like that. I am Victor Stone, Cyborg.
Oh,
I'm not
period.
saying. Sorry.
What is going on? How are you?
I'm doing all right. I like slashed my finger this week in the gym, and it was my thumb. And like I'm sure everybody knows, like you use your hands for everything, and your thumb especially when you're using your hands. And so it was like the slash, and then you had to put your Band-Aid on it, but you're using your hand all day, and I move it, and so then I got to do something with my thumb, and then the wound just reopens, so I'm just walking around, I'm just stinging myself all day, got to go get the ointment, rewrapping the Band-Aid, because then I'm got to wash my hands, and so then the Band-Aid keeps getting wet, and so it's sliding off, and I'm just like, ugh.
Are you squeamish?
No, not really. I mean, I'm honestly very accident prone though. Like I hurt myself all the time, like cutting myself, slamming my fingers into things, hurting my toes, like running into stuff. I just like keep moving at this point. You got to wrap it. You got. So, it is what it is. But how are you doing?
I am okay. I need to get back in the gym. That's for sure. But I'm all right. Thanks, babe. I appreciate that.
You're amazing.
But recent encounters have made me realize I need to get get myself back and just back in my own regimen. I've been like traveling a bunch, and I just need to get my
I get it. We can get a little lax sometimes. Have fun and just go. So it can do that. But I always tell people, I think as a person who is like, I guess I'm pretty into fitness. I do go to the gym and work out.
Yeah.
And so, but I don't think I like make it my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I like.
You're not annoying.
Yeah, like, I'm not the type of person where it's like, oh, well. Yeah. I'm just not crazy with it. Like I like to eat what I like to eat. So like stuff like that is fine. So I always tell people, do what you gotta do. But if you ain't a bodybuilder, I feel like just do what you need to do to make yourself look happy or to be happy and keep it moving.
Agreed. I agree. All right, let's go ahead then and get into the updates of the week. So the DC Solicits came out for July. They had a bunch of pretty hot things coming out this summer, which I think are going to be a lot of fun. Some new number ones that I found were interesting. For example, there's this new number one for Clayface.
Yeah, that was exactly the one I was going to say.
Oh, look at that.
Which, I'm a big Clayface fan, too.
Right,
so
right.
I'm really excited for anything Clayface. And then his show is coming out soon. So I was really hoping. I'm shocked the synergy is happening this early. Is the show coming out this year?
I don't know, actually. I know that they were filming it.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah, it comes out in October.
Oh.
Period.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So the synergy's already taking effect. We love that.
Yeah, I think that is fantastic for the show, obviously. And those, actually, now that I think about it, the synergy, like you said, you're right. It did already take effect. That's probably how he got this #1. But
Oh wait, it's a
it's called
movie.
Clayface Celebrity Dirty, and it'll be written by Jude Doyle and art by Fran Galen. And it's like a noir kind of book following Clayface or Basil Carlo, how he was a Hollywood actor. So it'll be interesting to see how they
Do
kind of do
you
something with the noir book over there.
do you like Clayface? Like, does his thing as like a Hollywood actor interest you? I'm curious since you like Wonder Man.
You know, I think if it were a little bit more like superhero-y, I would probably like it more. But I do like that he was, in entertainment before. I also always do really like his story of, I just want to like get better. Like, I'm not really like trying to do all of this extra stuff over here. Like, I'm just trying to like cure myself. Like, yes, I do help the villains or whatever, but like most of the time he's trying to just declay himself, probably return to being an actor. So maybe I do like him.
He's dope. And like, the kind of book that happened recently, like he was doing like some acting for her. She said, she was like, you ever been into the stage? He was like, you got my number, call me. And she was like, you'll hear from my agent, stuff like that. It's cool. He pops up a lot in the Harley Quinn show. He's like one of the big supporting cast characters in that. He's hilarious. His character, he's always helping out. Again, there, his like theater background and being an actor is like used heavily. He's a great character.
He has fun over there. Shout out to Clayface. There were a bunch of other issues that were announced there that I found quite interesting. For example, Catwoman number 89. The interest here is that Catwoman is already at number 89 issues.
The doll's been going strong. She's popular.
That is wild to me.
I did too.
And like Nightwing is at like 140 or something.
Like he's very high up. But again, like DC, they'll let a book go. Look at Action Comics. Aren't they doing like 1,016?
There's 1,000 issues coming up with this July announcement, actually.
Yeah.
1,000 and I'm sorry, it was 1,100. That's why it was in my head. It's 1,100. It's 1,100th issue, which is wild. They will keep going.
I wonder if like people still find high numbers daunting, because I think about books that aren't even big too, like Spawn. Spawn is another series that has a very, very high number. It's at like 340 something. And I feel like they aren't letting go of that. Well, I think they actually are going to do a new #1 for like Rosenberg when he takes over, but I think they might do like some legacy numbering there. So to keep it going. And I just wonder if that is really as daunting for people as the industry has made it seem. That's like, we always got to jump on a new #1 because it's a better jumping on point. Nobody wants to jump into issue like 800, but obviously you have these books that are still going, that are still doing pretty well. So it's like, do people really have an issue jumping in at issue 200 and like catching up, or do people really do like going back and reading from 1 to 346?
I feel like it depends on the company and their tactics. We do see a lot with Marvel really kind of chasing that new #1, and that's kind of how they sell a lot of their stuff. Whereas at DC, they really will let a book keep going. And I guess as a fan, you have no choice but to start at #1 or jump in at the new jumping on point, because they aren't starting over. They let you know they're not going to restart the book. They pretty much, if it's canceled, it's canceled. There's no new #1 like next month coming out. It's done.
Crazy.
And they seem to really only do like new #1s when like it's a new era for DC, or it's a mini series or something like that. But they don't really chase the new #1, so you don't really got a choice. But I do also think as readers, we have to like decide which one we really want to get behind. Are we team new #1 as a new jumping on point for people, or do we actually really want these books to keep going? And that means we have to be okay with jumping in at issue 13, because that's just where you want to, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, well, also the books now have to actually be able to get to issue 13.
Yeah. Yeah. Clock that. That is true. There were some other new issues that were announced for the July that I thought were interesting. The New Titans arc still going strong. We're seeing some Cyborg versus Terra coming in July. I feel like it's still the same old, but who knows? Things are changing over there, it seems.
Actually, they are a little bit. I'll be talking about that later, though.
Okay. We definitely will see. Yes, a lot of fun things going on over there. There was this book that I saw announced called DC Hot Girl Summer. And Megan Thee Stallion, you will always be famous.
Always.
Always.
The prominence, the popularity. You've got it, girlies. You've made it. And like to the Hot Girl Summer thing, it actually looks really fun. And it's got a lot of great characters. I saw Red Hood's in it, Thunder's in it. I think Grace is going to be in it. Like, they're bringing the hotties for real.
So maybe using that Megan Thee Stallion slang term right there was a good idea because it looks like they are having the hotties.
I'm going through myself right now, and
it's some hot stuff.
DC continues to kind of really be strong in what they're putting out. I'm also very excited for this Deadman series. Deadman is also another character that I really like. Honestly, though, I don't feel like I could tell you much about him. I think he's someone who I need to do a better deep dive on. Maybe I'll do that one episode. But like, I think about anything I do read with him in it, like, he's always cool, and I like his powers. Dope guy. Yeah. So I'm really interested to see what's going on with that booking too.
Yeah, I wonder, are they still doing the like redemption thing with him, or is he moved beyond that now?
He's going to be on that for the most part. Like, I feel like since Justice League Dark, they really kind of like established him as like one of the big magic guys. Of course, he always gets into his detective stuff. He popped up in Justice League Red recently with like Cyborg and Green Lantern Simon and Power Girl and Red Canary doing stuff with them. And now he's got a book. We're going to see what's going on there.
That is insane. You know what? I wish Marvel would do something similar. Just let their books keep going and give people books. Try something. All right. We also switching gears over into the Marvel side. It was kind of slyly announced, I guess. It wasn't really supposed to be looked at this way, but on a profile for Joe Locke, it was revealed that he signed a multi-picture deal with Marvel. Now, this to me means that multi-picture means he hasn't been in anything yet. He's only been in TV shows. So, do you expect to see Wiccan in Doomsday or Secret Wars, or do you expect to see Wiccan, in the Young Avengers team up? Where's Wiccan going?
That is a really good question. Joe Locke. Wicked. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Isn't that what the Marvel tagline is? True believers. We'll find out.
We will. I guess also jumping into this next point, Marvel, or Disney, I should say, had a mass layoff recently where they were firing up to I think it's over 1,000 people who were let go over there. And they completely let go their entire home entertainment department, which was all the DVDs and stuff they handled over there, completely let them go. That whole department is gone. A bunch of different departments got hit, from comics to legal, animation. They were all laid off. The SVP of print and sales and marketing, he's the person who was responsible for physical comic sales and everything. Let him go, which is interesting because just last year, Rob Liefeld was calling for him to be fired because he felt like, oh my gosh, these people are behind. They just aren't doing things the way they need to be done. I don't think this was obviously a response to Rob Liefeld, but
yeah,
he ended up being right, I guess.
Yeah, that I think that makes it even more sad.
It's very unfortunate. They also were let go a few editors. I'm trying to see if I can find their names. The unfortunate part is that a few of the editors that were let go were working on some books that I know that we and some of the listeners out there were fans of. So
One
that's really
of
sad.
the editor who edited Moon Knight was the one of
That
the
is
ones that
wild.
like Moon Knight, the book that's been absolutely killing it for however many years now, and has gone on for however many issues now, and so widely received. He's gone.
So this was Lauren by some Devin Lewis and Darren Shan. And they were all let
Devin
go.
Lewis was on Moon Knight. Darren Shan, I know, did some X books. Darren Shan was editing he was going to edit the upcoming Bishop book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's very sad. People losing their jobs is always a sad thing. The new Disney just got a new CEO, didn't they?
They did, yes.
That came in and clean
think-
house. It's
Yeah.
always sad to see.
And I feel like this is something that always happens at these companies, at any company really, when someone at that high up comes in. They want to establish how things are going to be ran under them. So people end up being let go and replaced. It's really unfortunate that, this happened. Now, what I want to know, though, is are these editors going to be replaced and all the books that they were going to be editing, given new editors, or are they just all canceled now and comics now are just going to be like slimmed down? Like what's going
I
on?
don't think they'll cancel any of the ones that were probably already announced.
They better not. I want the Bishop book.
Yes, we all do. They'll probably just slide that one to like some other editors, I'm assuming, which, sorry, that'll be a little bit more of a workload for them. Any books that he might have been working on for the future that hadn't gotten announced though or in the pipeline, those could be a little bit shaky.
I hope that this can make things happen for the better for them. And I know that obviously these people getting fired is terrible, but I hope that this will fix some structuring, or maybe they can bring in other people. I don't know. Marvel is, I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there.
I feel like if it was going to fix structuring, then there would have had to be a completely different group of people that got let go.
Yeah. I pick up what you're putting down. I can think of a few people, but I try not to say that people need to be fired. Like,
Well, I don't think anybody should do their job, but it's just like if they were going to restructure, then
now I'm okay with restructuring. Some things just got to move around.
if it was a restructuring, then like they're just like the people who do that are still there. So sad.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead then and take a break, and we will come right back.
Cool. All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of comics. And let me tell you something right now. I had a really great week of comic books. Like,
That's right.
I was so pleased and so excited with everything that I read. And that was not what I thought was going to be the case. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things. Lost Fantasy #9 came out this week. I don't know if you remember me telling you about that book. It's the one with the hunters and they fight the monsters that were hiding like the earth. That came up. This issue was so action-packed. Like, this series kind of got me like fully now, because there's basically a guy who's a part of the organization who was betraying everybody, and this issue, it was just like put into place. So everybody's in the different areas. There's people in Tokyo, there's people in Africa, there's people in Italy, all these things like that. Everyone's kind of hanging out, chilling, and then next thing you know, all his people come and like attack everybody in their respective areas. And it's just like, fights the entire issue. And it's like so good. There's this one dude named Groot Slang. He's in Africa. He was already in Africa dealing with some stuff. And while he's there, all these people come and surround him and they just start fighting him too. It's just like that. But he got away though. So but really good issue. Like I saw like a really good 4 out of 5. I think like again, like people should check this book out. It's one of the indie ones. Storm, Earth's Mightiest Mutant #3 came out this week from Muera and Federico Manson, and this was another good issue. So let me say this really fast. I know a lot of people have their issues with the Storm book. Some critiques are valid. Some I think people are just doing a little too much. I do think that this particular book, like I have been saying, it seems to be packing in a lot for 5 issues, and I don't think that feeling has changed. However, what is happening in these issues, I'm really enjoying. This one, Storm, it also made me like realize something. Like this entire time that Muera has been writing Storm in this book and the previous series, it's the most I've ever seen Storm cry. Like
that's fair.
She's not a character that I feel as though a lot of writers let sit with her emotions in that way. Like it becomes very like strong black woman. Like I can't break down because of this and the people. She's always in tears here, and I really like that Muera has been letting her kind of like live with that and like feel the emotions and like progress her in that way. I think it's helped a lot. This issue, she met a multiversal version of her mom. And it was really poignant because she had mentioned earlier about how like she saw her dad's spirit in the previous book, and like she still has yet to talk to her mom. Or she had been going through all of the various like underworlds trying to figure out ways to save not Manifold, what's that boy's name? Maggot. And so she was like, you know, I've gone all these places. I saw my dad. Still haven't seen my mom, though. Don't know what that's about. Then she meets like this multiversal version of her mom, which was like really cool and interesting because she's like, you're not my mom. And it's just, again, it's just like a lot of emotional beats that she's been facing in this issue. She goes to this place called The Wall, which some fans have said is actually the source wall from DC Comics. She runs into the Raptor. So if you're familiar with that concept, Storm took a trip to the DC universe this issue. So I know that might be cool for some people. But again, I thought
like when they always do like things like that.
It's fun sometimes.
In the Quasar book, in his solo, there was a race where like everybody who was either super speed or could fly. Well, no, it was only the runners. They let Monica in it, but they told her that like she had to touch the ground every so often because she can't just cheat and just fly her way there.
Just fly,
yeah. But like the person who won was this lightning bolt who came out of nowhere, and he had blonde hair, like red on, and like gold boots, and he won in a flash. I thought it was. Yeah, I like stuff like that.
Stuff like that is cool. Like, but basically, her mom, the version of her mom, took her there to this place, the Source Wall, because the war that is going on with Death and Dr. Voodoo and all of that is basically destroying Earth. And she's like, I don't want you to be a part of that. Like the version of me and David that is from my Earth, we were engineers, we built and had everything, but we didn't have an Aurora. So it's like, you should stay alive. Like you should just like, things are always happening. People are betraying you. Stuff's always getting bad as we, again, like you see, she's been breaking down. It's like, you should just give up. Like just leave everything behind. Just stay here. So we're going to get more into that. But again, I thought it was another solid issue. Like I give it like a 3.5 out of 5. X-Men United 2 came out this week from Eve Ewing. Now, if you remember, I did not really enjoy the first issue. I thought it had like some potential, but I just thought a lot of things in it didn't make sense. This issue, things made sense, and it was so much better. Like, it's just like, it's crazy how that works. Well, I know the Cyclops fans are a little mad. Basically, you know, the Greymalkin school and the Mind Center's attack is still going strong. There seems to be like this huge fire that's happening. We find out that it is actually Cyclops using Quentin Quire trying to like sabotage the location to make everybody leave so they don't do it. Emma obviously is like, yes, we have an infiltrator. She realizes Quentin. She gets him out. Her and Scott have this really big disagreement about it. And she basically is like letting him know she's over it. And I know that crushed a lot of like Skemma fans' hearts. That she was like, I can't believe I like that guy. He's uptight, A lot of Scott fans don't like it because they feel as though it's very out of character and extreme for him. Now, in my personal opinion, I didn't mind it. I personally think that Cyclops is kind of a guy who he prefers people to do what he says, and when they don't, he gets a little nasty about it. So I feel like this is just him being like that nasty version of himself, but I also don't read Objectiveless, so I don't know what he's going in over in that series. I assume that he's dealing with a lot of pressures. I've heard that he's having anxiety attacks. So to me, it just felt like a Scott that was just at his breaking point. Like, just he's just doing anything. He's desperate. He's doing it because he just feels like he's right, and this is the only way to make everybody see that. It's not coming off that great for him, but I personally just like the tension for him and Emma. I am not a like Emma Frost stan, but I feel like for her as a character, she has been stuck for a lot of people as like they want her to be Scott's girlfriend. And I feel like a lot of that is because we always still kind of see Emma fawning over Scott. Like, even during her code when she's like resurrecting him and they're like leaning on each other. And to me, that has never made sense. To me, as if I were an Emma fan, I would be so irritated by panels like that, because why would I want my favorite character to constantly be shown to be fawning over a man that always chooses his wife over me? Like, that doesn't make sense in my book. So like here in this issue, Emma kind of like laying down the law and being like, you know what, I'm over you. Like, this is irritating. Really just moving away from that and like kind of solidifying that. I thought that was like kind of great moment for her, or like in my opinion. So I'm for it. Nonetheless, Captain America also comes by. He wants the team to help him with a mission dealing with something with that project that created Isaiah Bradley. And, you know, they're having debates about it. I am Kitty, Emma, Kitty, Iceman, and Prodigy. And Kitty abstains after talking to Magneto. Emma's like, obviously, we're going to do it. Prodigy's like, you know what? These are black people. We're going to do it. Iceman's against it. He's like, we need to just be doing like mutant stuff. Prodigy actually picks 3 mutants who have had issues with like government and like people doing experimentation on others. So it's Laura, the new girl.
Oh, is he picking people?
Yeah, it was actually a really good moment for him, and I think it was really nice, like growth from his time in NYX as well, where he was like building his community of people. Like, he's having a moment, and you know he's also from Chicago, and so is Evie Wing. So she gonna use him.
I'm always go up for them because of that.
Yeah. Okay. But
for Prodigy, that's where it ends.
But yeah, but like I thought the issue was like really good. Again, I think like a big point of contention for me for the first issue was that like a lot of things didn't really feel like they fit or they made sense. Here they did. Even like if the character choices weren't my favorite for the mission, why Prodigy gets them, how he explains it, like, oh, okay, makes sense. He's like, it's not really a combat mission, it's more diplomatic, but like these people also still can fight, so it's like it works out. Just some really interesting stuff there, I thought. I would definitely give this issue a solid 3 out of 5. So check out X-Men United 2. And then my favorite book of the week that I'm so excited to talk about is New Titans number 34. Now, as we just said, things are changing for the Titans. Now, I feel like people know I'm a Titans fan, yes?
Yes. But hope so.
Oh, I want to make sure it was clear. I don't know anybody be taken by surprise.
I'd honestly would say, are they your like favorite DC team?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I really like Justice Society too.
Oh, you are a big JSA fan. That's true.
But I guess they have a lot of the same problems that I find, like where I really like the teams, but some of the runs don't always be that great, but they do have like a couple of whatever. They're both great. But I think actually I would probably put Titans above them a little bit, just because I feel like Titans are some of those characters that also helped me get into DC first. It was like Aquaman, Titans. So yeah. And this issue here, so I don't know if you remember when I was telling you about the last issue. Basically, like the team found themselves stuck in a rut where they were like repeating the same scenarios over and over again. Like Tara betraying the team, Donna and Roy in their relationship, Corey and Nightwing in a will they won't they, fighting whoever, fighting this person again, Tara betraying them again. Then they're drinking coffee. All these things. So at the end of the issue, it seemed like they were dying. and the new Titans popped in, and here we are. They kind of start fighting. We realized that the coffee that the Titans had been drinking was actually like mind inducing, and that's why they were kept repeating the same things. The only people who are actually real in this scenario are Starfire, Nightwing, and Terra. All of the other Titans, and Cyborg, excuse me, all of the other Titans have died, quote unquote. They're now fighting these new Titans who are Yara Wonder Girl, Kid Devil, Stephanie Spoiler, and Superboy. And they're like, we're trying to help you guys. You need to listen to us. We were sent by someone. Yeah. Well, I guess Superman. John.
John.
Whatever.
John.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, not Connor. Sorry. I guess. And so, they're like, well, who sent you? And then they're like, he did. And who walks out? But it's Victor Stone, like human form Victor Stone.
Oh. Okay.
And they're like, okay, well, hold on. If you're Victor Stone, then who's that? And he's like, it's Cyborg. And so what we were looking at is Cyborg. He goes like full Cyborg mode. They fight him a little bit, but then they run to get away. Cyborg reveals that as a result of DCKO, which you were recently reading, when he absorbed the alpha energy. And when he absorbed so much of the alpha energy, it actually tore him in half. So there's the cyborg version of him and the human version of him now. And they're separate, but they still have the same amounts of energy. But the cyborg is like the most powerful version of Cyborg that there could be. But like he's still able to see through his mind. And so he says he thinks the alpha energy also like messed him up. So it initiated his protection protocols. And that's why he went to kidnap the Titans and put them in the scenario where they kept repeating everything. Starfire actually makes a really funny comment. She's like, so wait, he did all this to protect me, Nightwing, and Terra? And like, she even said, she's like, no offense, Terra. And Terra's like, well, lots taken. But it was like, it was really funny, which is like, again, when you were talking about the solicit, it looked like he was going to, against Terra. It seems like there's going to be a lot of tension, which I think will be really exciting because even in a lot of those older Titan stories, like Judas Contract and stuff, Cyborg didn't really dig her that much. Like, he thought she was rude. And she was. But, he would call it out. He would call it out a lot. I remember his nickname for her was Buck Teeth. And they are fighting. The cyborg catches back up with him, and then they start fighting him again. And he's like, you know what? I've got a plan for this. Like, you guys can't do anything. He's like, that's why I have these new Titans here. They're people who have the potential. They're people who he doesn't know. He can beat them up, or they can beat him up. We can save the day. We can get out of here. He kind of starts beating them up. And it's not going good. But like also while this is happening, like it's another moment between Starfire and Nightwing, because while they were under the machinations of the coffee, they had sex. And they were like, even though a lot of the scenarios we were doing were like fake, like everything we did was real. They were like, so Nightwing and Nightwing was like, oh my God, what have I done, Babs? And Starfire was like, what do you mean, what have you done? So, that was like a nice moment of tension for them. She's like, okay. So like a lot of stuff is going on. I like how they're playing with the dynamics. I personally am a Dick Corey shipper, so I don't know. It's hot. I like
free my girl.
I'm cool. I mean, clearly, like Nightwing doesn't seem to be into it. I guess he's with Barbara again. I don't know. That's weird.
That's who he want to be with. That's what he's sad he cheated on.
Well, yeah, I guess anyways.
Didn't you just say you don't like it when somebody is like fawning over a man, like, and they always gonna pick their wife?
She doesn't fawn over Nightwing. Let's be clear there. Nightwing comes back to her.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. She just always says yes.
She just bored. You're like, all right, I'm not doing anything else. Cool. If she had something else to do, I'm pretty sure she would say no. Unfortunately, she don't. But you know, while the Cyborg is beating up the new Titans, and they're like, Victor Stone's kind of like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Tara's having her monologue. She's like, why am I still here? She's like, the Titans are always supposed to be a gig. Like, I do not care about these people. I can just hightail it out. But she's like, the gig's not up. She tries to fight the Cyborg. He's kind of like, whatever. And then Victor introduces the newest member of the new Titans, who is Ava, the daughter of Tomorrow, a girl from the future. And that's where the issue is. Really great stuff. Like really, really great stuff. Again, I was saying I hope it's been like pretty obvious that I'm a Titans fan because I have been waiting for like a Titans book that just feels like it's something different again. I know there are a lot of people who think that the Titans should kind of just be that main group of like Dick, Corey, Cyborg, Donna, Roy, da 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 da. I've never really had that thinking. I've always felt that the Teen Titans should be like the proteges and the like of whoever the big Justice League people are. And then if there is like an adult Titans crew, it is like the older heroes acting as the next line of defense. It does not necessarily have to be like Nightwing and that specific crew, but like they are the thing where it's like, okay, the Justice League isn't here, the Titans defend, and then the younger Teen Titans, Young Justice, whatever you want to call them at that time, they're just like the young kids who are like starting out or the current proteges. So to get this new group of Titans coming in, I think it's really cool. And I think it also still kind of fits in line with like Justice League Titan likeness falling into it. I'm really interested to see the new dynamics of Cyborg and Tara. I'm interested to see how it goes with Nightwing. Since this Titans run has relaunched, Cyborg has done nothing. I went back on DC Infinite and I read every issue. He has done nothing. I think maybe in like the 30-something issues, there were maybe like 5 pages of dialogue for him. It made no sense whatsoever. He's been doing nothing in the book. So like this issue and the last previous issue has been a really nice change of pace to see him being active. I also kind of really like
cool in DCKO.
He was killing it in DCKO.
I think I brought up at the end of it how like they showed him have this like flash. Mm-hmm. He had this like apocalypse heart thing, and it was like, what's going on with Cyborg? It's cool to see this playing out in Titans.
And when I wasn't expecting that as well. So like that was really cool to see come into play. Even with the DCKO stuff and like him being separated in two, I really am curious to see how like this is going to play out because obviously in the future covers, we still see him having his cyborg tech. So I want to see if they're going to fuse back together in some way. I'm curious that if this will be similar to something that happened in the David Walker run. He had merged with these creatures called the Techno Sapiens. They were like their own cybernetic alien group, and that gave him the ability to regenerate. And when he was able to regenerate, he could go into like a human form. And he wasn't telling everybody about it at first, but he was like, okay, this is something I can do. I don't have to look like Cyborg. So I'm curious to see if something like that will happen. I also even liked the Cyborg thing kidnapping the Titans because of his protection protocols. I think that's a really great callback to the Technus Imperative when Cyborg, like, what did he, I guess he lost his self and he kidnapped all the Titans so they could like be protected, and that started the big fight with the Justice League. Like great stuff. So like a lot of little elements that really pull from the history that'll help moving it forward. I think like this also even hitting some of the John's notes, like a new Titan group coming in and you have like a core group of like the former acting as their advisors, their mentors, like, and this group isn't super young. So that I think that also helps. They're still like college age-ish. So them being around Cyborg and Tara and Nightwing isn't as bad, or like isn't as jarring, I should say, that they can't work together. Tate Brombaugh, like, I'm a believer. I think this is now, I want to say, I think this is like the fourth, is this the third or fourth book I've read for him? He did Batgirl. There was Green Lantern Dark, which I love. This, something else I really do feel like I read that had his name on it. And I also enjoyed that. I can't think of what it is right now. I have to try and look it up. But regardless, even if there wasn't, I got 3. Like, that's good. I really believe in the work that he's doing. He's got good voice for the characters. It seems like a fun story. The art is like hitting. The actions are great. There's like some Tara Yara tension, which I think could be really fun later on. You know, Yara is doing like she's creating force fields with her bracers when she puts them together. I think this is the first time we've seen her doing something like that. Superman apparently has like electricity powers.
Yeah, I think he has the blue Superman abilities. Remember in the 90s when, or was it the 90s? I think it was the 90s or early 2000s when Superman had like that blue form and his red form.
Oh, he can do that. Well, good for him. Get a little different.
I think I personally, I think that's smart to like, separate him from every other Kryptonian and every other super.
Like,
Give him
ain't
something
nobody else
special
doing
that's
that.
like,
Yeah. So he's been doing that. So like lots of really cool applications of the abilities, lots of really fun ways to see the characters. Like this is what DC all in. I'm all in. Like this was a great issue. I'm really excited to see what else happens. Like I'm excited for the Titans again. And like again, I love the Titans, but I can admit that like not all Titans runs are great. Okay? Like there's a lot of like fluff in the middle, something that, and even some of the things that like a lot of people don't like, I still think are pretty fun. Like I love the characters in the school, but it's just like it just hasn't aged well. But I think like there's really like that Wolfman Perez era, there's the Johns era.
That's kind of it.
I was gonna I'm trying to decide if the Taylor era fits like when they did Rebirth, because it's like while the run wasn't necessarily like exciting,
Anything special,
it did, I feel like, start this path of like the Titans being the secondary team.
yes, that's because the Taylor run was brought out of Death of the Justice League.
Yeah,
The
so
Justice
it's like,
League died, so then the Titans were the premier team.
yeah, and it's like I think like they needed that, so like I feel like his run is impactful for that, but like nothing actually happened. So like,
Right.
I appreciate the building block. We just need a few more things. So I don't know, but like really solid issue, 4 out of 5. Like I loved it.
Oh, wow.
I'm ready for more. Yeah, like I thought this was really, really great. I think if you are a Titans fan, you haven't been reading Titans in a while, if you want to get into them, like now's the time. Jump back in. Get all in. We're here. Yeah.
Okay, but the Titans are back.
The Titans are back.
Titans together.
You know what? All it took was for Cyborg to be in the league.
And that's really all it really took. Shout out to Cyborg. I like him.
And also because John's era, who was in charge, Wolfman Perez, he was also getting lots of things to do.
So then do you not want him to leave the Titans anymore and go with the Justice League?
No. I'm always fine with him leaving the Titans. Please don't get that confused. Like 100%. Any day he's ready to walk out that door and never come back, I will support you, brother. Like, you do what's best for you. But
Period.
if he's going to be here, just make it interesting.
Yeah.
So, and that's what this is toward. Okay. But those are our books of the week. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come on back.
Let's do it. All right, y'all. Welcome back. And this is the watch section of the show. Now, this week we will be talking about Invincible episode 7. We'll be doing Daredevil episodes 5 and 6 next week. But this week we are doing Invincible episode 7. And I got to say right off the bat, this was hot. I had a great time. This episode was great. Now, obviously, like penultimate episodes of a lot of shows end up being like really great and really suspenseful, and they drop a lot of stuff there. And this being that episode for this season, they definitely did that. But I thought all around it was a very solid episode. What did you think?
I agree with that. I think it was very solid. Action was cool. I thought, you know, I'm sure we'll talk about this as we get a little deeper into it, but there were some moments that I really liked that felt a little bit like horror episodes. So that was cool callback. I think as a person who didn't know much about Thrag, he showed out here, and I would get it. So that was really cool to see. I did when they were doing like the flashback to like Thrag kind of taking over the Viltrumite Empire, and he was telling everybody to like find the betrayers and all that stuff. I thought it was so interesting. I was like looking at all the different Viltrumites. I was like, oh look, it's like Blah Mark. There's Nolan with like red hair. I was like, oh, I see another one. Nice. I thought that was like really funny. I was like, I was trying to look for a different one. But
that was actually my first time. I know I should have noticed this well before, but that was my first time noticing and putting it together that if they can only grow a mustache, no one, none of the characters had any other type of facial hair. Just a mustache.
And seeing like all the Viltrumites like fighting against each other was crazy. Like just crazy people, really intense. I liked it. I don't think I liked it more than last episode. I think last episode still kind of is like my favorite, but I actually did really like this one. I feel like Battle Beast didn't get like his due here.
I knew that was an issue for you. I knew that it had to be something to do with Battle Beast.
Like it was just not given what it was supposed to be. But again, like I kind of actually feel like this with a lot of the Viltrumite fights when they do the big like group things. I don't know. It feels like we're not at war. It's like we're fighting, but everyone, it just feels like they're holding back some type of way. And like, I feel like they make a big deal again about how the Viltrumites are so violent and like they take you out. But Suit Girl has been flying around for 15 minutes. Just,
Girl, I am convinced her suit comes with good luck powers because there's no way that she has not died yet. Like,
it's just
the
not
thing is
making
that the battle she gets herself in, I'm like, how are you getting out of this? This doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. So like that's my only thing like with the Viltrumites. But I will say so like what I was talking about with the horror aspect of it and like how I felt like that when they were first flying to Viltrum and like they were flying through all of the dead bodies of the Viltrumites who had died during the thing. I remember like as I was watching, I was like, what if all the Viltrumites like just start waking up like we're zombies? And then they cut to the one lady with the blade in her braid and how she was just sitting there waiting. I was like, oh my God, they are alive. And I was like, that was really smart of them to like be sitting waiting in the bodies. I was like, because obviously they weren't expecting that. So that was like hot to see.
Yeah, I thought that whole fight was really cool. Okay, let me go ahead and give some of the background on this episode. So this was episode 7, and it was called Don't Do Anything Rash. And this episode was directed by Stephanie Gonzaga and written by Helen Lay. And the episode starts with, we see this whole flashback basically of the Viltrum Empire kind of in their youth, I guess you can call it. Thetis is starting to show how he does not like what's going on in the Viltrum Empire, and we see how he assassinated Emperor Argyle. And next we see Thrag like take over, and he's ruling over like right at the funeral of Emperor Argyle. Thrag is like telling everybody to fight. And I saw this tweet that said that he was basically Natalie Nunn.
Yes. Oh my God. I thought the exact same thing. I was like, oh, this is an episode of Baddies. And I read that one clip that kept going viral. Fight him. That's all that popped in my head. I was like, oh my gosh. But, that also made me realize a lot of comic book characters are Natalie Nunn a little bit. Like, even Emma Frost. Remember when the new X-Men got decimated and she made all the students fight in the danger room?
Like right then and there, she said, fight.
Like, literally. Like, everyone's kind of Natalie Nunn.
Sometimes there's, I guess that's what the universe is trying to say that we need is a Natalie Nunn out there. But then in the present, we see Thetis, Mark, Nolan, Oliver, Alien, Battle Beast, Zoe, and Space Racer. They're going to the Viltrum Empire, but then boom, they get ambushed by the Viltrumites, and then we see this whole like fight happen between all the Viltrumites. And I have to say, I liked this fight. Again, Suit Girl, I don't know how you've been getting away with a lot of these things. That Viltrumite was definitely coming straight for you, but
a couple of action.
Yeah, but Alan always ends up being able to step in and kind of come and save you. But I don't know. Like I
And
said, she
even
just does
Alan,
not
I
give
feel
them that.
like I've again like, and this be my thing. It's like we talking about we at war. Why are you not trying to rip these people's arms off, Alan? What's going on? You can actually
Like,
fight them for real. You, or I guess you're too busy. You got to save Sue Girl. You can't really
can't do
get
too much because he always got to keep his eye out for for her.
crazy. And then Space Racer, still love him and the gun.
His
When they
gun's
jumped when they jumped him on his glider though. It was like, whoa. I was like,
Cracked his helmet right open.
yeah, I was like, oh, it's like over for him. But
Yeah.
shout out to Sue Girl there because she did come to help regenerate.
She did.
Good for her that she can do that for other people. That's nice. So that was cool. But
I have to say that fight on Viltrum between Omni-Man and Thrag doing a punch and causing a whirlwind. I don't think I've ever seen that in any kind of superhero media, but that was hot.
It was
knocking
Well, he was
Omni-Man through space like that is insane.
and it was like I even loved during like the entire fight while all the Viltrumites were fighting the heroes, and like even when the guy like shot at him, he would just make these little slight movements and just standing there. When Mark came at him, he was like, "Yeah, actually hit me," and it didn't do anything. And he was just like, "Oh, okay," and just like knocked him back. Oliver,
Shout out to that impact frame at that moment. That was really cool. Oh, but yes, Oliver.
indeed.
Jaw knocked off. That jaw gone.
And this is exactly what I was talking about. I was just like, Oliver just don't seem that strong. Like, I'm so like, it's just like we got a lot of different stress levels here, and his is just like not where I thought it was supposed to be. And like, and Thrag even said it. He was like, "You're not even one of us." But which I did think was interesting that he didn't like Oliver, but he was like all over Mark. Like, yeah, you could come hang out though.
Yeah, which definitely gave away what the ultimate plan was, which we see after Thrag kills Thaddeus, literally decapitated him, pulled his head right off his body, which was insane. Then we see him take out Omni-Man too. And that part did gag me.
I was like, whoa. I was like, oh. I was like, is that how that feels?
I was like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. And then he gouges Mark's eyes out. Like,
And Mark is another one who got the power left because the people always be right there ready to kill him too. And suddenly, all of a sudden, it's like, hold on, maybe not. But yeah, the fight with Nolan, like when he put his hand through Nolan, I was like, ooh, that was nasty. But it was cool. I mean, he did destroy his planet. I guess at that point, it was.
oh yes, and the destroying of the planet. So all of the after Omni-Man saw Oliver, like basically dead, he was like, you know what, we got to end this now. Let's do what I came to do. He made everybody fly in formation, made everybody pay attention and focus on him and say, this is the plan. No,
Yes.
Mark, I know you want to deviate from this plan, but no, stay with the group. Okay? Stay with the group.
Stay close to me. Stay on me. Calm down here. We're about to do something. Thaddeus was all about it, or Thad was all about it. Like,
I thought that was cool. Using that gun, which is like the most powerful weapon in existence, and using that to destroy the planet, I thought was awesome. Just
that was cool. I also like when they brought in the monsters with the claws.
oh yeah, the
And
features.
they were just like fight. I was just like, this is just a crazy space fight. Like, don't nobody know what's going on. Everybody's just fighting everything. I was like, chaos. That's how it should be. They came in to kill some things. Okay, like they were
That is true.
like
That's
they said. I don't even think they knew it was a war. They were just like, we're here.
And then we see the ending where Mark puts it together because now that they woke up, Mark healed himself. Mark was healed. Oliver is like in a tube. Omni-Man has been healed. Alan has been made the new Coalition of Planets leader, and Mark figures out that the Viltrumites are definitely heading towards Earth because they put together that we can make more marks there. Now, there is a moment in the comics that I know about where one of the characters, Anissa, basically
I think I've heard about this.
she basically rapes Mark, where they are fighting and she like forces sex on him so that she can get pregnant and like have another Viltrumite. I'm not sure if they're going to adapt that story. However, there were moments in this episode where they hinted at Anissa like taking interest in Mark, and like
No.
so I don't know if they are going to adapt that, but they are definitely showing that the Viltrumites are going to be going to Earth to obviously reproduce and make more Viltrumites. That's why he didn't want to kill Mark. He said, we've lost too many already.
We'll see. And if they go into Earth, they're going to the Guardians. It's over.
What Guardians?
It's
Who's
over.
gonna do anything there?
I mean, like, oh my gosh, is Rex and Monster Girl still stuck in the other place? It's just Shapesmith and the other two guys?
I was finna say Black Lightning. What's his name? Black Samson. And Mr. Immortal.
Is he still part of the Guardians? I thought he retired and like left with Kate.
Well, they both came back to the Guardians, but I remember the other half of the team left because they were like, they don't want to work for Cecil because he's a nasty man. And
Oh, well, yeah.
Black Samson and the rest of them stayed because they wanted to be lickers. And the rest of them left.
Well, they're about to die.
No, most of them dead, so.
Why should I mean, the Viltrumites are coming. They can't do nothing. They about to be there too. So.
Oh, they got bulletproofs.
Completely.
Maybe they might redeem him. I want them to redeem him. I want him to be cool.
I'm still shocked that those were his powers. I never would have known that if you hadn't told me.
He's bulletproof.
But Beverly.
All right, y'all. Well, let us know what you guys thought about the episode. I thought it was fantastic. I would give it a 4 out of 5 for sure. What would you give it?
I'd give it a 3.5.
Okay. That's pretty good.
It was good. I mean, I still liked it. Yeah. I thought it was something I couldn't even done without, but I liked it overall. Enjoyed it. Definitely like the episodes have been going up, which is good.
Yeah. We'll be getting into that finale next week, so definitely check us out then. But that brings us to the end of the show. Make sure you guys rate and subscribe us wherever you get your podcast. You can follow us on most social media apps at Another Relaunch. You can watch us on YouTube at Another Relaunch TV. You can find me on most social media platforms at UncannyLZ. Keenan, where can they find you?
You guys know you can always find me at Keenan Lance. There's an underscore at the end.
Great. All right. Let's get up out of here and we'll catch y'all next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace.